Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video today. I am working still on my photos from Austria. This is Salzburg, and I'm doing a full 6x8 page today, and I only have the one photo. It's just a standard 4x6 photo, but I loved it. I thought it spoke very well to that old European feel, to look at these old buildings and look at the number of bicycles that are parked here. We don't see that as much in the United States, so I found that very interesting, and I loved the lines here, the curve of the street, and then you can see how the buildings kind of curve at an angle on the street. I just thought the whole thing was very visually interesting. So I have that. I've pulled a stamp set because there are a couple phrases on here that I might be able to use with this. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens with it. And then I have pulled out my pouches of travel related items, hoping that I'll find things in there that will work with this, but that's as far as I am today, and I'm going to play it by ear. I went into my washi stash because when I use a 4x6 photo like this on a full page, I tend to like to have some washi on it. It just helps fill the space and bridge the background to the photo, and I think I'm going to use this one today. It's a coppery pattern on it. It's very shimmery. It's foiled, which I love, and I think that that color works well with those buildings. So I have that. I still have to go into my embellishment stuff and see if I have anything that will go. When I went into my stash of circular items, I found something that I think I want to use. It's a metal tag, and these used to be all the rage years and years ago, and they've come back a little bit. This was in a recent kit that I got. And it says, "She dreams of faraway places and darling adventures." And I thought, wouldn't it look lovely right here, overlapping that little piece of blue sky? So I think I'm going to do that. I may put some washi under it as well, or I may just use this at the bottom. I'm not sure, but at least I have that started. Also, I think because there is a hole in there as if it's meant to be attached, I'm either going to thread some baker's twine through there, or I might even use one of my old brads. I have tons of them still in my stash. I might as well use them. I did look at my brads, but then I pulled this baker's twine. I like it because it's got a little bit of a stripe on it, and it's blue, which brings out some of the blue here. So I'm thinking I might just thread that through a little bit. I'm not quite sure how the patterns are going to work together, the stripe and then this kind of diamond pattern, but I'm willing to give it a try because I can always snip it off if I don't like it. So I think I'm going to try adhering part of this, figure out where I'm going to do the washi, and I'll go from there. I put down some washi, and I think I like it there. I still plan to have this kind of overlapping like so. I also snipped off a little bit of the baker's twine so that I can thread it through there and then attach it. I'm going to try just using my glue dots and hope that that works. If it doesn't, then I'll have to go to my liquid mono glue, but I'm thinking that the glue dots will be fine. So I have attached the metal tag, and so far glue dots seem to be holding it, so that's probably the choice I'll stick with. No pun intended. I'm not quite sure what to do with the ends of the baker's twine. I kind of like the idea that they will just float freely out of the page protector however they choose, so I may just leave it that way for now. If it annoys me in the long run, I can always cut it down a little bit, but I think for now I will leave that as it is. And I'm going to try the stamp set as well. I noticed that there's a phrase on here that says, "It's amazing this stuff exists in real life." And that's kind of how I felt looking at this. So I think I'm going to stamp it and probably over in the lower left so that it offsets this kind of upper right area. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I haven't decided if I want to do black or a dark brown. Dark brown would probably blend in more, but the writing on here is pretty dark, and so I think I could get away with the black. I'm not sure. I'll probably test it and try it with both colors and just see what I think of it. Here's my test paper, so you can see the difference between the brown and the black. This is the Memento black ink. This brown is actually, it's called Chocolate Chip from Stampin' Up. I'm not sure if they even make that color anymore. I've had it for a long time. As you can see, like, it's very well loved. So I'm not sure if they still make that color, but that's where I got it. I do like the brown better. I just think it's a better match with that copper, and so I'm going to stamp that down here. I did the stamping and it turned out well. There you go. See it down there. And I forgot to mention that this stamp set is called Away, and it's by Carrie Bradford Studio. So if you're looking for that one, she may still have it. I don't think I bought this one that long ago, maybe a couple months. So hopefully you can still get it if you'd like it. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing here is doing some mist splattering, because I know I have a copper. I think it's the Heidi Swap one. I have to look. I haven't used it in a while. But I thought maybe just have a few drops here and there would help bring out this copper, bring out the tones of the buildings, and really enhance that background a little bit more. I did some test splattering because I found out I don't have copper. I thought I did, but it's not copper. It's called bronzer. And then I thought, well, this is a little bit more copper colory. And this is the Glimmer Mist from Tattered Angels. This is the Golden Terracotta. Yeah, that's not going to work either. It's way too orange. So I'm just going to lift these up so you can kind of see. That's what they look like when they're dry. The bronze is a little too dark. A little too much almost black tone in it, so I'm not sure that would be right. And then the terracotta, it's just too orange. I don't like it. So I'm not going to mist after all. What I think I'm going to do instead is I think I'm just going to stamp a background, and I'm going to pull out these little handy dandy guys. I've had these stamps forever. They're more than 20 years old, 1997 they say. And I think I'm just going to take out this one that looks like a splatter. I'm going to find some gray ink, slightly darker than this, and I'm just going to stamp instead. So this is the ink I've selected. It's Smoky Slate from Stampin' Up. And this is a newer one. I think they do still make that one. I haven't had it that long. So I'm just going to test it really quickly, though, to make sure it's actually a color that I like. Yes, that is much better. And even if I stamp away like a second time, it'll be a little bit lighter. That might even be the better way to go. So let me move some of this around here. There we go. So if I stamp and then go a second time, yes, I like that. Woohoo! So I can just kind of do that at different angles around the edge. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Is that enough? I think it is. I like it that it's just a little bit here and there. It doesn't need to be totally covered. When I look at it, I feel like it still needs something else like down here, because this is a lot of empty space. So I'll see if I can find some embellishment that might work here. So when I went to my stuff, I pulled out these new stickers. I just got these. These are from, the company is called Everyday Explorers. And the woman who owns it, her name is Christine Heron. She also does stamps. So I have several of her stamp sets. So I don't know why I didn't think of her right away as having stuff that I could use. But I pulled these out, and I think I'm going to use this gray one that says Enjoy the Journey, because it's a darker gray than the background, and it looks as if you're walking off on a journey, right? So I'm just going to hold it up there, take it off the backing, hold it up there, and see if I like it. So I put on the sticker, and I love it. I think it looks great. However, I think I need something else, like a tiny little something right here, kind of hanging off the edge, just to add to that little cluster feeling. So I think maybe enamel dots. I'm going to go in and see what I have. I think I have some kind of sparkly ones, if I remember right. I haven't used those in a while, but I think they're in there. Well, the sparkly dots that I found, are they in here? Where I had gold, red, those don't match. Then I had another one, here it is, of silver, grayish silver, but I think that's too much gray and silver. I don't like that. So I've decided to go with these, and I'm just going to use the dark brown because I do have that brown ink. And if I feel like it doesn't pull in the brown enough, I could also go back and add some brown ink to these little spots, just a hair. So we'll see once I put these on if I think I still need more stamping. So I added in some enamel dots. I put them down here in this grouping, and I just put one up here. And I like odd numbers of things, and I know that's kind of a design aesthetic as well. So I have 3 down here, 1 up here, and I think that's good. I know sometimes people want that visual triangle, but here I think because I have this element, it adds to the circles already. So I've got a spot here. Sorry, that's my cat in the background. I've got a spot here, here, and here, and they connect to make a narrow triangle. I'm okay with it. So I think this one is done. I'm excited. I don't do a huge amount of just 6x8 full pages, but when I do, I tend to really enjoy them. So I'm glad I finished this one. Thanks for watching, everyone.